Hi everyone! In this video, we'll learn how to find the mean and the standard deviation of a binomial distribution. The mean tells us the expected number of successes. The standard deviation tells us how much variability we can expect around that value. We'll learn the formulas and then apply them in an example. For a binomial distribution, the mean is given by the formula mu equals n times p. The mean is also called the expected value. It represents the average number of successes we would expect in the long run. The standard deviation is given by sigma equals square root of n times p times q, where q equals 1 minus p. The standard deviation measures how much the number of successes tends to vary from the mean. Notice that both formulas require n and p. For the standard deviation formula, we also need q. A common mistake is forgetting to calculate q before finding the standard deviation. Let's use these formulas in example 5. According to the American Red Cross, 11.7% of Connecticut residents have type B blood. A random sample of 24 residents is selected. Let X be the number of residents with type B blood. First, let's identify the values. Since the sample size is 24, so N equals 24. P is the probability that a resident has type B blood, which is 11.7%. So P equals 0.117. Q equals 1 minus P. So I take 1 minus 0.117. That equals 0.883. Now, let's find the expected value. We are going to use this formula, mu equals n times p. N is 24 and p is 0.117. So we'll take 24 times 0.117. This equals 2.808. And the question is asking for 2 decimal places. So we'll round it to 2 decimal places, which is 2.81. So the expected value equals 2.81. Now let's interpret the result. Remember that an expected value represents a long-run average. This means that if we repeatedly selected random samples of 24 Connecticut residents, we would expect an average of about 2.81 residents in each sample to have type B blood. Notice that the expected value is not a prediction that exactly 2.81 people will have type B blood. People come in whole numbers. Instead, 2.81 represents the average number we would expect over many samples. Next, let's find the standard deviation. We'll use this formula, sigma equals square root of n times p times q. N is 24, P is 0.117, and Q is 0.883. So we have square root of 24, times 0.117 times 0.883. To enter the square root on the TI-84 calculator, press second and then press the X square key. Now enter the values inside the square root. 24 times 0.117 times 0.883. And then press enter. This is the answer. And the question is asking for 2 decimal places. So we need to round it 2 decimal places. So the answer is 1.57. This tells us that the number of residents with type B blood typically varies by about 1.57 from the expected value of 2.81.